It's a huge movie. It's the biggest movie that's been shot in Europe since Cleopatra, and that's now become a cliche, I think. But it is, huge armies involved, and as I said before, special effects of a very special nature, explosions, and blue screen is involved, and it's a very, very complicated movie with a complicated schedule, and that's really the nature of it. The difficulties are inherent in the size of the movie and the size of the budget.
Two of the largest sets were built for scenes that take place under the volcano Mount Etna. They were a munitions factory run by the god Vulcan and the extravagant ballroom that he's built for his wife, Venus.
Oh my life, the alpha, the omega of my existence. I've got something here for you. The diamond for you, my precious.
So sweet. Another diamond.
I play the god of this volcano, and he's danced up to the ceiling of my new ballroom, which I just had painted with my wife, Venus. And I get a little bit cheesed off with that, so I pick him up bodily, and I throw him into this whirlpool, and he's sucked through the middle of the world, and he comes out the other side and fights the Turks. Does that make sense? It does to me.
Yeah.
He jumped onto a cannonball. He really did. And he flew miles up into the sky, above the elephants and soldiers.
God, stop lying!
I'm not lying! Am I?
3, 2, 1, fire!
This time go up and let go with one arm.
The problem is that there's so much in the way of special effects, and they're not special effects in the sense of Star Wars special effects with spaceships flying around. They're more down-to-earth things. And to try to do a lot of those things, because people know what ships look like, they know what oceans look like, they know what fish look like, it's a bit harder. It isn't doing a lot of mechanical things out in a solar system beyond anything we've seen.
They've made all these models where the legs move twice as fast as the body and comes zooming in and plows up the earth as he stops. I mean, it's really very fast running.
Not late, am I?
There were more difficulties with the King of the Moon, played by a surprise guest star.
He arrived on the Saturday, we were shooting him on Monday. We had 5 days to do this in, and he had very, very complicated makeup to be done. We had to have special blue screen rigs and flying rigs so his head could detach from his body. And there's no time to test any of this stuff. And that's the sort of pressure that's really terrifying. We've got that much time with him, and we've got to get done with it. He also had to ride on the 3-headed griffin, which wasn't ready. He was supposed to be ready on the Monday. We got it on the last day. What happens, he comes at a point in the film and introduces a whole new kind of energy. He's playing a 60-foot-high King of the Moon with a detachable head. And the film has been floating happily along in the 18th century, and suddenly, boom, he bursts onto screen.
Let me explain it to you. Since you were last here, I, that is my head, that which is left of me, where the brilliant and important parts are located, is now ruling and governing the known universe. And that which I don't know, I create. I just created spring.
Your old friend's a lunatic.
So it would seem.
To get to the moon, the Baron makes a massive balloon from silk underwear borrowed from the women of the besieged town.
I got fairly superstitious around that point because we had, on the next to the last day in Spain, we had the balloon to fly, this gigantic balloon of women's underwear to fly over the battlements. And I woke up that morning, and I just knew it was going to be a disaster. I just said, if the balloon flies, the film will finish it. If it doesn't, it won't. And we got out there, and it was a terrible day. It was gray, the wind was howling. The balloon couldn't go up in anything other than the most placid, climactic conditions. And the wind was going, we couldn't get the balloon up, and the day was going on and on and on. And the problem was, it spun on this huge crane. We had like a 300-foot crane that was hanging this thing. And there was only one wire, so there was no way of keeping it the right way around. And we had to then make a decision which way to turn it. So we shifted all the wires around, put up again, and it went sideways. It didn't go the right way. And it was now 5 o'clock, and the sun set at 5:30, and it was about 5:05, and it still wasn't going. And I had to make a decision, and I said, which way to do it, which way? And I said, it's got to be that way. And it took about 10 minutes to get the wires done. Came up, and it was now about 5:15. The thing went up, and the clouds which had come in suddenly opened up, the balloon went, the sun was glorious, the balloon went the right direction, everything worked perfect. That was it. The film got finished.
What will become of the Baron? Surely this time he'll not escape. What will become of the Baron? Surely this time he will not escape. Boom.